This is your best news source. This is Choice News Now.
Non-profit organization Solar Head of State installed solar panels at Government House in Mount Fortune Wednesday. The initiative is part of a greater effort to make 35% of the island's energy usage renewable. Janelle Norville explains.
A non-profit organization is helping St. Lucia realize its goal of generating 35% of its electricity from renewable energy by 2020. Solar Head of State is working with the government of St. Lucia to help accelerate this transition to renewable energy, reduce electricity bills on the island, and improve energy security. Its first step, according to Director of Project Development James Elsmore, is to work with the Governor General with the aim of installing a solar PV system on the Government House. This will serve as a symbol of the political dedication to move forward, as well as a strong signal to the international community that when it comes to going green, St. Lucia means business. The island is one of the countries contributing a minuscule amount of carbon emission to the atmosphere. However, for the small island states, the implications of these emissions are devastating. Elsmore states the installation of the solar panels will result in less energy costs.
So we're installing 18 panels in total on Government House, and that will be a 5.4 kilowatt installation, which will probably provide a little less than the total energy used by Government House, but we were limited by the roof space here. It's going to be grid tied, so what that means is that when it generates more electricity than is needed by the building, that electricity will flow back into the grid and can be used by any other house. And when there is not enough electricity and the Government House might need some extra, then it can just draw that from the grid.
Also on the project is Free Island Energy. The company is charged with the engineering, procurement and construction management of the project. It assisted with the development of the design, the documentation and the training of the installation technicians. With the experience of conducting major projects throughout the region, President of Free Island Energy Mark Lopato states that there are several challenges to overcome in such projects.
It's always difficult to find an array big enough to generate the amount of energy that the facility needs. So locating the array is a challenge. And then there are two engineering challenges, one being corrosion protection and hurricane winds. Those can both be engineered around, but you have to be very conscious of them here in the islands. St. Lucia has similar development challenges and other issues as most Caribbean countries. So we're always dealing with interconnection relationships with the utilities and getting the right energy size and then making the finances work for the owner.
Under this project, a 5.5 kilowatt PV system will be installed at Government House. Climate change is described as a change in global or regional climate patterns, in particular a change apparent from the mid to the 20th century onwards and attributed largely to the increased levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide produced by the use of fossil fuels. Director of NOAA Energy, Jade Hutchinson, explains the benefits of going green.
First and foremost, you reduce your energy costs. So although there's a high upfront cost to the solar panels with the solar system within the first 2 to 4 years, it pays back the system, and over the next 25 years you would not be paying any electricity bills technically. So in the investment upfront then allows you to have 25 years of cheaper electricity. The second benefit is your carbon footprint is reduced. So since you're not using fossil fuels as to generate your electricity, you don't burn any, there's no carbon dioxide going into the atmosphere.
At the 2015 Paris Climate Conference held in December, for the first time in over 20 years of UN negotiations, a legally binding and universal agreement on climate was reached with the aim of keeping global warming increase below 2 degrees Celsius. For Choice News Now, Janelle Norville reporting.